Every time they talk about protecting democracy, you just gotta cringe. You're, you heard Texas Representative today, Colin Allred, bring it up in that Matt Taibbi fiasco that they got going on. It's just a big clown show. I don't know why Matt Taibbi even put up with that shit, man. He's done his job. The job is done. It's just up to Americans to take the proper recourse, right? They've showed you everything that you've needed to see, but so many people are fucking brainwashed to have no fucking clue of what's going on, but they choose to respond to certain things and get engaged. They pick and choose when they want to be engaged, right? And listen to a bunch of fucking lies. And they'll run with it. And then here they'll come, you'll be 2024 and they'll be out there voting, thinking they're making a fucking change. Meanwhile, they're just distracted, feeding the system. I told you 3 years ago. You see how many people, it's being understated how many people are struggling right now. There's a lot of people fucking struggling to make it. Just a lot of people don't want to fucking admit it. And I said it was going to happen 3 years ago. You've got no control over it because you don't control the money supply. You don't control the taxes. No, none of that. Sit up there, they drop a sickness on you. Most people can't even afford health care. Can't get free health care even though we quote unquote pay all these taxes into it. They go on Twitter and they're openly working to censor people. And you're talking about protecting democracy. Democracy, democracy. You keep hearing that. Democracy is majority rules, two wolves and a lamb deciding what's for dinner. That's simple. And you should never leverage your human rights under a democracy. How would that work for black people if we decided we wanted to do the majority rules, right? But under the democracy, when you talk about undermining a democracy, you're supposed to have access to both sides, all possible information. Nothing should be censored out. But they don't want that. They want it to be chopped down into an echo chamber, and Republicans are, I've stated this over and over again, Republicans are no good, but they're playing the role of the good guys. They're the pro, quote unquote, freedom right now. They're pro free speech. The Democrats have taken the stance of openly being fascist, even though they continuously called Donald Trump this over and over again and call Republicans fascist. And most people, most especially college kids, use the term and have no fucking clue of what a fascist is. And they apply it in the wrong way over and over again. These people, it's not on the people up at Twitter. Even though they're human beings, they should take the initiative to uphold their country, but it was not on them. It is not on them at all. It's on your government. Those government officials that were contacting them to get particular stories censored, whether it was about lab leak theory, Fauci and everything, and with COVID. We already knew all of those things were lies. But, they think you're just some tinfoil hat. You're crazy. Want to say people are manipulated, but also people are fucking stupid. They can't think for themselves. That's how many of these other concepts, people get locked into religion and how they're locked into, the political aspect today without using any nuance, without being objective. It's exactly how this comes about. So they're openly going on and trying to censor stories that they see, that they deem to be misinformation, even though, like I said, the majority of it have been proven to be absolutely correct. The Hunter Biden thing. Did I mention that again? A lot of this is bullshit, but this is a assault on the American people's minds. It's deeper than just politics, because this shapes everything else. This shapes the future of where we're going to go. Just like the things that happened within the 2010s, from all the police brutality, the George Floyd stuff and stuff like that, the different stances taken, that shaped the response when it came to things like COVID. You may not understand that, but that's what shaped the response. So when people hear certain people take certain stance or take a certain position, doesn't sound good to them because you're taking the same position of that guy over there that I don't like it. He's a racist, or he was insensitive to the police brutality and things like that. People are still going to go next year, and they're going to be, it's going to be a shit show, man. They're still going to be all in on this president election, and it's going to be a new batch of idiots, the new kids coming in. Even if there's been a whole bunch of people that have woken up, you got a new batch of people coming in and buying into the whole system. Better grab this shit by the horns, man. This was crazy today. Then you got up there, members up there of these aren't even Congress members. What the hell are they? But they are sitting up there asking for the sources of who gave Matt Taibbi the information, calling him a so-called journalist because it doesn't match to your credentials. You sound just like those motherfuckers that try to throw their degrees and shit like that in front of the face, like that means anything. Because if you got a degree but don't understand that 2 + 2 = 4, what the fuck does that have to do with the conversation or the equation? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Anybody can be a journalist. Anybody can be a journalist. If you see something that happened, if you see something that's happening in your area that you're seeing with your own 2 eyes, and you say, I want to grab a camera and report on this, and you start your own channel, start your own platform, that's journalism. Who gives a fuck about accreditation and stuff like that? Is the information true or not? And that's the stuff they were dodging today. What those fools, and what makes it so bad is what they were making it a partisan thing. It was primarily the Democrats doing it, but Taibbi exposed Republicans doing it on their side also within the Twitter files. Not to the extent of what Democrats were doing, but we've already known this about Democrats. They dominate the media. They dominate the media by a landslide, and it's like that for a fucking reason, just like the Republicans are their way, the way they are for a reason. I've been saying it for the longest. You had Cenk Uygur, which is from the Young Turks. He openly admitted it, that the Democrats and Republicans are playing good cop, bad cop with you. And they take all these different sides of the culture war, but when it comes to particular things that can really screw over the American people, they always seem to come together. This was crazy today. This was crazy shit. It's gonna get spun in different ways. I'm pretty sure on MSNBC and CNN, they're downplaying it and just it's a bunch of just they're reaching for a bunch of right wing conservatives reaching for something, and then Fox News is gonna play it up. Some of the worst stuff ever, man. To be honest, it is. Fox News is fucking right. But people don't want to hear that because those are the bad guys. Those are the enemy. Learn what fascism is. How can you have a democracy? How can you have a proper quote unquote democracy if people aren't informed and they're having information being omitted from what they understand? And people don't even have... I'm not even going to make an excuse. I was about to talk about people working and they don't even have the time. Fuck that. If people are going to be engaged and even talk about some shit, know what the fuck you're talking about or shut up. That's simple. Or shut up. Stop fucking talking about politics. Stop talking about anything that you don't understand. These people are intellectually dishonest. And then when they get called out on stuff, they... they try to spin around it. A lot of them try to run from the information, especially if in social media, within that whole platform, within that entire space. They can run from it. They can act like they don't see this shit. And they're going to think they're taking the moral high ground. They think they're the good guys, virtue signalers. And many of them are the main problems. Doesn't mean that a lot of their heart isn't in the right place, but you know what they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. This government has to go. I'm not all for, total anarchy or anything like that. I haven't reached that within my mind, but the government that's there they've got to go. And the people got to wake up and understand that they're the ones, they are the employers. They put these people in position. But we don't understand the power that we have. It's going to get to... Gonna have to figure it out soon. Y'all ain't no running from this stuff. People thought they could run, thought they could ignore it. And then what happened? COVID. Everybody got affected by that. A lot of people got wiped out. Couldn't run from it. I'll holler at y'all later.